Home with a 1-2. A curve is nubbed off the end of the bat. Muncy feeding Kershaw, slides to the bag. He got him. And you hold your breath as you watch him stand to his feet. Make sure that Reynolds is okay.
Kershaw, 2-2 pitch. Tucker way out in front, strike
12. Another curve, caught it short by a leaping Seager. And back to that conversation about defensive positioning. Kershaw may have allowed a hit because the shift was on last inning, but he didn't. Gets him with a curve, one of the best he's thrown tonight. Got him looking. Kershaw with his 8th K tonight. Nobody out. 0-1. Taylor hits a high fly ball to right field. Melky Cabrera settles under it, makes the catch. Here comes Muncy, throws up the line, and the game is tied. Chris Taylor comes through with a Jock Peterson rips a base hit to right center to give him the lead. It gets all the way to the wall. Verdugo scores. Barnes will score. A go-ahead triple. Jock Peterson. Back to the fastball to strike him out. Payoff pitch. High fly ball to right. No big deal for Cody Bellinger. The Dodgers come from behind to win it 3-1. Their third in a row.
Jock, the 2-run go-ahead triple there in the 7th inning. What were you looking for in that situation against Musgrove?
You know, he was hitting his spots all night and making some really quality pitches. Just looking for a pitch that I could over the center of the plate, and I got one, and I was able to put a good swing on it.
He had good command 1 through 6. In the 7th inning, it seemed like he was tiring perhaps a bit, losing the command a little bit. What were you noticing in the at-bats before that, and were you surprised they didn't bring in Liriano at that point?
Yeah, you know, what happened? I don't know. Max got on, I think, and then Verdugo had a nice hit first to third, and CT sac fly. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. They left him in the game, and I was able to capitalize.
And you've capitalized against him before. How are you able to see him so well in the times that you faced him in the past?
I don't know. That's a long time ago, but he made some good pitches tonight, and you know, they weren't the most comfortable at bats. So I got to do a better job swinging some better pitches throughout the day. But overall, it came out good. It was a nice win. Kershaw did Kershaw, and yeah.
How great was Pedro Baez tonight, coming in a bases loaded situation, nobody out, retires the side?
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest part of the game, hands down. You know, coming through the bases loaded and get out of that with no runs is special. That's Caballo for you. You know, he's been there, working his butt off and giving us everything he's got every time he's out there.
All right, another series win. Nice job tonight. Thanks, John.
Right on, thank you.
All right, guys.
So I thought tagging him was easier, and I mean, I've never been accused of being graceful before, so you know, felt bad. I didn't want. I hope he's okay. It seemed like he was fine, but yeah, just trying to get outs any way I can.
How big was the performance from Pedro Baez tonight to get you guys out of that huge spot?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. You know, bases loaded, nobody out. It's a pretty impossible situation, and you know, Petey did unbelievable, dominated it. Got us out of there, and Kinley shut it down. But yeah, I can't say enough about Petey. That was awesome for him.
You've been here enough years to know that some years the crowd has not been necessarily in his corner. What was it like to see him get the reaction he did tonight from everybody that's here?
Well, I think the great thing about Petey is you can't tell. I love that about him. You know, I think the biggest reaction he did was like one of these tonight. So that's a mark of a great reliever, a guy that you can count on. You know, fans are booing him or whatever. I mean, it's not fair, and he knows that, and he's great. So I think it's awesome. And tonight, you know, I guarantee you he doesn't care about that. He's just glad to get the big outs that we needed.
Clayton, do you feel like stronger and stronger, better and better after each start?
No, I mean, I felt pretty much the same. I think the one before this one was a little bit rockier. You know, not strong or weak, just a little more inconsistent. But you know, felt good tonight, and just keep building off this one.
When you see a guy cross the way like Musgrove throwing like he was, does that do anything for you, or is it just their lineup and you against their lineup? And that's
Yeah, I mean, you're always just trying to not give up any runs, you know, but obviously less margin for error when a guy's throwing that well, but it really shouldn't change anything you're doing. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, you know, he really had his good stuff tonight. He was locating really well. So, yeah, the pass, I mean, it is what it is, but he pitched well, and I was able to capitalize late in the game on a pitch that was over the middle of the plate.
Everybody talks about the offense, the home runs. How nice was it, and how important was it for you guys to be able to grind out one and just see it and know that you guys can be patient too if you need to?
Yeah, it's huge. You know, he can't hit a home run every night. That's especially in the playoffs against good pitching when they're pitching well. You gotta grind and put together at bats, wear them down, go first to third base running, stuff like that, and take care of the little things.
Boston jumping kind of unusually for April at this park to this point, but air was a little bit heavier. Did you think this was the kind of night where it was going to take line drives, ground balls to win the game?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone. I don't know. I guess you were thinking about it, so someone was, but I didn't. I don't think the weather has much to do with it. I don't know. You stumped me. I don't have an answer.
When Petey comes in there with the bases loaded, are you guys thinking, let's just try to get one in and a double play, and then how surprised and excited were you when he gets, all three of those out with no runs coming?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a pitcher, so I don't really know what the expectation of bases loaded with no runners, with no outs. But usually it does count for a run or two, and he came down and shut the door and made some really quality pitches and got some tough hitters out. So that was really, really big on Pedro, and he picked us up huge right there. That won us the ball game.
How frustrating were those first 6 innings? It seems like you guys were hitting the ball hard, just at people.
He made some really good pitches. You know, he was spotting up both sides of the plate, not much over the middle, and sometimes you just got to tip your hat, and with the shifts and stuff like that. It's baseball, you hit it hard at him sometimes, and we didn't get down on ourselves, stayed with it, and we're able to come out with a
What type of guts did Pedro Baez show tonight?
He just he's really grown, and you can't get in a bigger spot than that. And just to make pitches, keep making pitches, and get us out of that. Obviously, that was the difference in the game tonight. And over the last few years, I've put him in some of the toughest leverage spots for any reliever, and he's overcome a lot. And he's a guy we've counted on for the last 3 years, and this year he's just really dialed into who he is as a major league pitcher and his strengths, hitters' weaknesses, and no moment is too big for Pedro.
This is a guy that when other people were ready to run him out of town, you were his biggest fan and his biggest proponent. What did you see in him that let you know that he had this in him when he showed tonight?
I just think for Pedro, where things outside at times over the last couple of years has gone kind of south, but I think for me and my faith in him, his teammates, their faith in him, he never made excuses. He never ran from big spots, and he always wanted the baseball. And I think that with players, when things don't go well, you really see how they respond. And for me, I've learned a lot from Pedro, and just kind of watching how he's responded to some adversity, successes, and he's remained very consistent. And so for me, I applaud him, and you root for guys like that, and you can bet on guys like that. So the way he works, takes care of his body, wants to be in big moments. For me, it's no surprise the successes that he's had.
How did Ferguson get into that trouble to begin with?
So with Fergie, it's I love that runway right there for him, and we've put him in leverage, and I just think that it's one of those things where the leadoff walk doesn't help, and you're throwing your fastball. I thought the ball was coming out good, and got 0-2 to Polanco, and didn't execute a fastball. And so now you start to get a little bit of stress, and then the walk to Frazier as well, another left-hander. So I think that with Fergie, he's a guy that when he's going well, he can fill the strike zone up. Excuse me. and use his breaking ball when he needs to. But when his fastball's not located the way it should be, whether in the strike zone or outside the strike zone, it's hard for good things to happen.
What did you see in Kershaw's seventh?
I thought Clayton was really good. I thought before that kind of incident at first base, I thought the slider was great. I thought his entire mix was great. I thought tonight he was, obviously Clayton's going to compete, but the slider really had the depth that we like. And I thought the fastball, I honestly believe he didn't have his curveball all night tonight. But I think the fastball command on the inside part of the plate, away to the right-hand hitter, I thought that he had that all night. And, 8 punch, no walk. So that's kind of what Clayton does. And we needed that one. We needed that one. And on the offensive side, for Alex to put together some at-bats and get a couple big hits, that was huge. And obviously the big blow from Jock. So it was a grind because you look at their starter, Musgrove, he had good stuff. Good velocity, could put the ball on the ground, can miss bats, and we knew we had our hands full tonight. And for us to scratch out a win was big.
Well, just going back to Pedro, you talk about the mental stuff with him, the consistency, but how much of his success this year is just being a little bit less predictable? Mixing in a few more change-ups, letting that fastball sort of stand low.
It's a big part of it. I think that you've heard me over the last few weeks talk a lot about sequencing with all of our guys. And Pedro has got a plus fastball, he's got a plus change, and a plus slider. So now, when you go into an at-bat, how are you going to attack a hitter? And I think that predictability part with a lot of guys decreases margin for error, and you get to be more predictable. So when you can go into an at-bat and attack guys differently, obviously everything plays up. So with Pedro to buy in and to kind of be really in sync with Austin, credit to both those guys.